guys, it's Brandy, and today I'm going to take you through a pick-a-card reading for those who are suffering with anxiety through this isolation, depression, fear, anything like that. And what I'd like you to look at are these three decks here. This is going to be group number 1. This is going to be group number 2. And this is going to be group number 3. So if you could take the time to really focus here and see which one is resonating with you, which one calls to you, and then we will jump right into the readings. Again, this one's going to be group number 1. That's the reading you're going to want to listen to. This is going to be group number 2, and this is going to be group number 3. Now, if more than one of these is calling to you, then both readings have messages for you. Remember that these readings are just like the Serenity Prayer. Take what you like and leave the rest. If something is calling to you today, then I have messages for you. I'll see you on the other side. Blessings. Hello, group 1. How are you today? Forgive the blank background, but I really just want it to be about the cards today. This reading I have been moved to do is all about those who are feeling isolated, but also struggling with anxiety or depression currently. I have sort of been told, I had a dream that I should do a reading because there are messages for you. So we're going to jump right into the messages. I've already done the meditation. I have the few decks that are going to be in. I think it's only 3 decks. Tarot to start. So for my group 1, we are going to ask if we could please have a message from my spirit guides, source, my ancestors, those who can see beyond the veil, then further than I can. For those who would see this message that are currently suffering, please send the messages they need to hear right now. What guidance would you send? I invite you to speak to me through these cards. I will do my best to interpret. If at any point I sound like I'm talking to myself, it's because I'm sort of listening. So, that was a lot of cards. Let's see what popped out. This is, first off, the first thing right out of the gate is the World. So, which is crazy because if you're feeling isolated and you're feeling depressed and anxious right now, this card doesn't seem like it would apply. I mean, honestly, you don't feel like you have the world at your feet. You don't feel like you could travel. You don't feel like getting out of nature is really going to be what you need to do. But that's what this card, this energy is all about. This card is all about the fact that you have everything you need right in front of you. All the elements of the world are conspiring for everything to just be great for you. This is kind of a portal concept. Like it's like the idea is you have in front of you the ability to pretty much accomplish anything. It's really interesting that this card would come up because you probably aren't feeling like, you probably aren't feeling like this is really where you're at. So let's see what else came up. Really a huge amount of cards came up. Okay, and we have the Tower in reverse. Really interesting because the Tower in reverse is change. It's obviously, there's change. There's no doubt about that, but it's change that's not forced. It's change that you can make the choices about. You have a say in where it's going. When the Tower is upright, it's all about the universe going, sorry, you didn't change when you had the chance, so we're changing it for you. This card in reverse, actually these two cards together, is a really positive situation. It's change that maybe you didn't see coming or you were ignoring, but really the world is at your feet. Everything is conspiring for a fantastic situation. You also got the Five of Swords. So Five of Swords is kind of an anti-action card. It's a little rough. That's somebody who's not sure if they're ready for battle. They need to recognize they're defeated. See these guys back here, they're walking away. This guy still has his swords. He's still ready for the fight, but the fight is leaving him. He doesn't need the fight. The fight is unnecessary. To fight the change is kind of the opposite of what you want to do. Page of Pentacles. So an immature thought process. Somebody, be real careful with your money right now. Don't loan it to anybody that's young. If you're young, watch your money, put it in your pocket. This could be people losing jobs. This could be people that are non-essential, especially in the younger generations, really being upset about money. So if you have resistance right now, some of it, I mean, what else do we have? Because, okay, and the Knight of Pentacles is looking right at both of them. Okay, yikes. Whew. This is a little heavy, guys. This is a little heavy, so, sorry, I have a cord down here where my heater is, so I was watching so I don't hit it. Okay, change that's inevitable, but you have the world at your feet. But look at these cards together, okay? This change, somebody is super resistant to change. This is probably you being super resistant to change, okay? Then you've got the Page of Pentacles reacting in a immature kind of way, just upset, really pondering, really not objective, just feeling like they don't have control over stuff. It's someone young, or a feeling of young, or somebody's, you know, it could be just all the things that have been put in place have made you just feel like a kid again, and not in a good way. You really want to be careful of your money right now. That's, the Pentacles are all about earth and material and that sort of thing, okay? With the Page of Pentacles upright, though, this is opportunity. This is a good, positive card. So even though it's young and immature, this is opportunity right in front of you, okay? It's discovery. So, and really, like, this Knight, so Knights are all about action, even if they're not swords, okay? Pentacles are earth energy. You have a lot of earth energy happening, especially with the world here in front of you. But the Knight of Pentacles, rather, is about like planning or being prepared. If you put these four together, it's really all about change that you hate, resistance, but there is in front of you an opportunity, and if you go about it in like a practical, ambitious way, he's looking at the opportunity. It's right in front of you. You're just not seeing it, but everything is right at your feet to conquer these problems that you are feeling. If you try to be a little bit more pragmatic, you might find that these problems are really not, that the resistance you're having is all about stuff that's leaving you. And interestingly enough, you also got the Knight of Wands in reverse, and the Knight of Wands in reverse is ego. This is pessimism. This is frustration because of choices you're making. So it's really like you're like, if you can, and I know you probably don't want to hear this, but like moving past your pride and the suffering that you're having, and recognizing the opportunities that are in front of you, recognizing it's possible you have a money-making opportunity right in front of you that you're too busy resisting everything, putting up a fight that's not necessary, to recognize the opportunities that are in front of you. And the change is inevitable, but you have control over it, even though you feel like you don't. And that really the world is at your feet with the situation. So it seems really negative, right? But you have the Knight of Wands in reverse is saying it's all ego-based. And then you have the Three of Wands is the last card that fell out. And this is a lot of cards for an initial energy. But it flew out. And the Three of Wands is all about planning. This is, you know where you want to go, plan it. It's just right now, it just takes a plan. And if you spend your energy making a plan, making a budget, especially with the Page of Pentacles showing up here, this is somebody who's not really got a budget, but they need one. Okay, that's going to be super helpful to you. And that might be really annoying to hear, is that you need a plan or that you have opportunities in front of you. But whatever plans you start making right now, if they are well thought out, if you take the time to make them, they will be fantastic and very, very positive. I don't know. Knight of Wands is an anger card, followed by a Three of Wands. It's almost like the anger at the situation is going to help you plan to do better in the future. It's a real interesting mix you've got going on here. Shall we see what else we can find out for you? Because that is a lot all in one sitting. So that's your initial energy. What I'd like to get right now is, I didn't even ask. I mean, I asked in my head. Okay, so I was asking for guidance. Okay, so we have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. So Queen of Pentacles is, this is Sagittarius energy. Queens are women who know what they want, right? It's a feminine energy, not a female. But like, it's kind of like there's an imbalance. It's kind of like your guidance is to find the balance. This card, when it's in reverse, is kind of like a martyrdom card. So you don't want to be, it goes back to this Knight of Wands, okay? This is ego. This is suffering that is unnecessary. It's a martyrdom card. It's just, it's being reclusive, but in a bad way. So this card wants you to reach out, which again is kind of like getting this card right now during the huge quarantine that's going through our world is really rough, right? Because the guidance in this card would be to step out. So because you got the World card as the energy, there's a lot to that card. It's a really positive card. I would be telling you to get out in nature. She's got all the grapes and the abundance is right there in her hands. In this case, you're not looking at the abundance that's right in front of you. You're being reclusive away from the abundance when you have the possibility of really grabbing onto that. Okay? I actually I'm gonna use a different deck, and I'm gonna get a clarification, please, for this Queen of Pentacles. This is the guidance card. I would like a clarification on this reverse Queen of Pentacles for my group 1 of the Human Collective. Spirit guides, I invite you to talk to me through these cards, please. Can I just get just a single card, not a giant amount of cards? I apologize for the dog. I have a lot of dogs, and since we are all home, everybody's walking their dogs and is making a lot of noise constantly when I'm trying to do my readings. Okay. Okay, Ace of Wands in reverse and Knight of Cups. So this is what came out as your guidance for this particular reading. Ace of Wands is always, we like wands. Their fire element, you can kind of see the brilliance here in all the air, I think. It's Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy for wands. But for the Ace of Wands, you really just want to recognize that when it's in reverse, it's a feeling of being unmotivated. It's impatience. right? So again, martyrdom and impatience, and that is causing you a lot of problems. The guidance in that is the Knight of Cups. So you have 3 knights in this reading, 3 out of 4 knights. Like, this chessboard that you're in charge of is yours, okay? And you have the Knight of Pentacles and you have the Knight of Cups upright. So one of the things you need to recognize is that the Knight of Cups, I don't know if you can really see that. Let me hold it better like that. Okay. The Knight of Cups is really a positive card. I don't know if you can see how brilliant that is, but it's all about fulfillment, inspiration, feeling healed, really a satisfying situation, actions that make you feel satisfied. So in order to get past this ego feeling, this sadness, this anxiety, you need to step out. You need to recognize that there are things that are fulfilling right now and really hone those in. Like, write about the things that are fulfilling. Look for the good. It's probably going to feel very difficult right now considering what is in front of you, but you have 3 take action cards. And this one says that you don't want to. This card says you want to fight it. It's not your best choice right now. I understand. This card being in the reverse, knowing that this choice is yours, but not yours at the same time, is really rough. But again, the positive cards you have are the World and the 3 of Wands, and that is go out, appreciate nature, make a plan to get out. Your action cards are really positive. So, yeah. Knight of Cups, just find what is satisfying to you. Do the best you can to find what is satisfying. Let's see what healing cards we have for you, because we'll look at some shadow in a second, but this is a little bit of a hard, honest read, and this is a rough time for people. So I'd like to know what healing you would tell my group 1. They're really feeling isolated, depressed, anxious. Meditation and reliability. So I don't go through numerology in these cards, but this is a 38, which would be an 11 if you add it together. And this card is reliable, and it is really, really beautiful. Can you see that? There's a peacock here, being the light, making your music heard. It's a really important card for knowing that. Okay, so when this card comes up, it's all about knowing that relying on yourself is actually harder than you would like. It's actually the hardest thing we can do. Like, most people don't mind showing up for others. I don't know if this is focusing. Let me just see if I can get this to focus on this card, so you can see how really beautiful that is. If I hide my face, you might be able to. I think, there you go. That looks a little bit like it's more in focus. So, and then I pop around and then it's not gonna be in focus anymore. So the situation with this card is that we always are lighting the candle for others, right? We're always helping other people. Most people don't have trouble showing up for others, but when it's time to show up for yourself, we just don't. This card comes up to remind you that that's really important. It's interesting because this is exactly what the moon looks like right now. March 30th, I think Mars went into Venus. I'm not sure. I'm trying to remember. Today was a huge day for astrological signs, but this card really reminds you to take the time for yourself, put yourself first, find what you need. The action that you're looking for, this reliability, this Ace of Cups, these go together. They need to be personal. They need to be your plan to take on the world. It's time. That's what it's time for. And then you got a number 3, which is always a beautiful number to get, meditation. So this card comes up when meditation is your friend and could really lead you to positive journeys. Not everyone likes meditation, but this card comes up when the suggestion for meditation is very strong. And look, there's that same moon. Because we got the meditation card, I will pull you a chakra card, of which I have the deck right here. Since you gave them a meditation card, can I please get a chakra reading? Things might just be out of balance all over the place, but for my group ones, where would you have them start? Okay, that just fell right in my lap. Beautiful. Beautiful. Number 16, which is also a number 7, determination. Okay, so this is sacral chakra work. This is, it's really hard to follow the crowd. This is salmon going upstream, right? And right now, how you're feeling might be that everything is upstream. And like the salmon, you might be feeling like, what's the point of me getting upstream? I mean, the salmon all die at the top, right? We're leaving the sex part out of it. But really, like, what is the point if this seems ridiculous? Really what this card is reminding you is that the salmon aren't about the end. They're about the journey. We know about their end, but they don't necessarily know about their end. And it's all about their journey. And they desperately want to have a legacy. So they will do everything they can to get up this water that is going downstream. It's literally going against the current. It's literally having a very difficult time with change. This card correlates with your Tower in reverse. It's fighting it because you want to. This card is a brilliant card to remind you, and this might be hard to hear. You're not stuck at home, you're safe at home. And that's a huge difference. Recognize that through determination, you'll get through this rough patch, and that sometimes all you need to do is sleep. Purposeful rest and relaxation and quiet is really going to benefit you right now. That may not be what you want to hear. I'm going to get a healing card for you, and then we're going to look at the shadow, which is the hardest part. Okay. Oh, this is heavy, guys. I feel for you. I can feel it's hard to breathe. It's very heavy. Just know that there is an ending. It's not in sight yet. There's a lot of resistance right now. Can I get a healing card for my group ones out there that are suffering through anxiety and depression in the situation right now? What do they need to know? What do they need to hear? Sacral chakra meditation. Learn to rely on yourself. 2 healing cards flew out. Let's see what we got. Self-sabotage, a number 2. Be careful, guys. Make sure you are not self-sabotaging yourself because of old habits. Recognize that your habits may need to change because they're just not healthy, and that you may be setting yourself up. You want the owl messages. You want the messages to come through so that you are not part of the self-sabotage and the lack of growth, okay? Number 26, letting go, and that's an 8, in case you're paying attention, okay? She is clinging to a past that is no longer what she needs, and she's having trouble with growth and moving forward. Now, if she goes into the past, it's this dark, gloomy terribleness. She needs to move forward and carry this cross with her. Imprint that on your soul, but know that letting go, even though it's hard, is going to be your ticket forward. All right, so we're going to get a shadow card. For those who that can see beyond the veil, my spirit guides, I invite you tell me what's going on beneath the surface. What can we not see? Oof. Somebody wants to talk to you because these cards are coming out like crazy. All right. Arizuli, prosperity. She comes up when things are not as they seem. When you're not being authentic. She was married. She's a voodoo queen. And she was married 3 times. She's all about money, prosperity, not really marrying for love. And she comes up when you need to be aware that your material situations are not quite what they need to be. Again, this kind of falls in line with your Page of Pentacles. Pay attention to your money. Pay attention to your reasons for things. Pay attention to why you're doing things, what your motives are. You don't want to be a martyr anymore. If you are, you want to choose not to be a martyr. You want to choose to work with the change, recognize that you have the world in front of you, and really quick, let me pull up her book and I'll just tell you some of the key phrases that are with her. I usually have her memorized, but I'm at a loss. Okay, so be careful with borrowing money because strings may be attached to it. A lie is being exposed to you. Someone is lying to you or will be very shortly. This also could be you lying to yourself. So just be aware of that. Be honest in love. Okay. Oh, right. There's her 3 wedding things. The other thing when this card comes up is this card always comes up. This is a little bit of a tangent, but it always comes up when you need to clean out your space. When you have too much clutter, either emotionally, psychologically, or literally physically. So now might be a good time to clean out your space. Sage out, get a black candle and light it to absorb energy, light some incense. If you're feeling like this speaks to your emotional state right now, a salt bath, throw some Epsom salt in, table salt will do, it doesn't have to be a lot. Or just a nice bath where you can soak and you can imagine all of the negative leaching into the water. You get out, you towel off, you're a whole new person, and all of that negative goes down the drain. And you can do that as many times as you need to every day if necessary. But she shows up when things are blocking the truth. That's all I'm hearing. Okay, I didn't read her whole thing out of the book. I just wanted to double check her keywords. And last but not least for you, should we do a fun one? I have my Alice deck. I love my Alice deck. It gives great reads, even though it's kind of silly. So Alice in Wonderland, here we come, because we need a little happy in this world. Am I right? Yes. Can I get some guidance for my group ones, please? Some happy guidance for my group ones. Yes. These cards are not always happy, but let me tell you, the shuffling is what takes the longest in these videos. Okay, 2 cards. 3 cards. I got Manage to be Glad, 43. Create your own happiness regardless of conditions. That's also a number 7, which, in case you care. So you'll notice she's playing with a skunk. Not the best scenario. So this card wants you to recognize that you can manage to be glad. 33, I want to be a queen. Stating your sovereignty, declaring freedom, and passing a test. So this again is 2 3s or a 6, depending how you want to look at that. This card is entirely, you are in charge of everything. It's kind of like the epitome of the World card. Like, the only way this could, in this reading, it could be more is if you got the High Priestess or the Emperor. Like, state your sovereignty, know thyself, and get it done. Healthy boundaries, just making sure that you're taken care of, relying on yourself, and other people will come along, but you got to take care of yourself first. Last card is a number 1. That's fantastic. all in the golden afternoon. This card is about inspiration, creative spark, imagination, and conception. And this card is all about that time of day where everything turns gold. You don't always see it, but when you do, it just speaks to your soul. It's that perfect golden moment. For me, it's actually that twilight blue color that shows up at night. This card is all about recognizing the beauty in the world, what sparks you, what helps you be creative. Again, it's going to be, with this reading, it's going to be what is fulfilling to you. Find something that is satisfying to you within the confines of what you're going through. Really focus on it, and it will help drive you. Clean out your space, clean out your brain, let go of some of the resistance that you're having. And a lot of these cards are saying, you know, go out in nature. A lot of them are saying you have control, and all you need is to sort of amp up the determination. But it's gonna be good. It's just really hard right now. Meditation is your friend, and letting go. Meditating on letting go, sacral chakra, manage to be glad. I think the messages are very clear. I thank you for letting me read for you today. I wish you peace in all of this chaos. Thank you. Hi, group 2. This is Brandy. And this message is for all of you. I know most people are feeling isolated right now, but if you're suffering from anxiety and depression and you pick group number 2, these messages are going to be for you. It's just like the Serenity Prayer. Take what you like, take what resonates, leave the rest, because that message is not meant for you. I am a hot mess. I just got finished teaching a dance class online for some of my students, and yeah, had to take a break in the cards. But we have meditated, we've come back in. I'm just gonna smudge the deck from my last reading, which was group 1. And we're gonna get started here. Okay. So, my ancestors, my spirit guides, my source. I invite you to speak to me through these cards for those that need to hear this message of the human collective. Those who are suffering from depression, anxiety, more than normal, really need to hear this message. Please provide guidance in the messages they need to hear today. These are beautiful shuffles, not gonna lie. Alright, bottom of the deck right at the beginning is the King of Pentacles. Not bad, not bad. Alright. What guidance, what message would you have for my group 2 of the human collective, please? If you could push the cards all the way out so I don't have to grab them, that would be great. Okay. Now, I'm just not going to read this. Can you see this chunk of cards? This is too many. So we are going to ask for a simpler message. And I hope that the background doesn't bother you. Again, okay, somebody wants to talk to you, but this is like 8 cards. We need to start with a small energy, a smaller message. Clarity is key here, please. Thank you. Beautiful. Page of Pentacles. Thank you. All right. So first off, right now, you're probably worried about money. Like, don't lend money to anybody, even if people are asking. This is an energy card of somebody that is feeling kind of young, feeling less than. You want to be real careful with your money. You want to really... It's not a bad thing that you're being careful with your money right now, okay? That's the kicker. That's the thing. With the Page of Pentacles, so Pentacles are really great because... Okay, so just to get it out of the way, this is a card that wants you to have confidence. I'm trying to hold it over my face so it focuses a little bit better. I think that works, but I'm not sure. So, you know, Pentacles are kind of earthy. Their health, their finances, their physical world manifestations. It's Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy, more grounded. It's the energy you're having right now, or that you need to be focusing on, is being grounded. This is root chakra meditation, earth star chakra meditation, which is the one that's below the root chakra. It's even deeper than that, like go really deep and connect with nature, material world. Really recognize that whatever you want to manifest right now, you can. This is a card that is really like, if you pay attention and you focus, you totally can manifest. You have an opportunity for that in front of you. So you might be feeling fear or anxiety about all the changes going on. This card is saying change your stuck to safe and your fear to opportunity. Fear is not a bad thing to have when this card comes up. This card wants you to recognize that mastery over yourself leads to discovery. Like, you know, she's thinking, she. It's really an energy of mastering oneself leading to discovery, and fear is often a catalyst for that. So your anxieties don't need to be your crutch, your final situation right now when you have the Page of Pentacles. Okay. Can I please get some guidance for my group 2s? What messages do they need to hear? Clear, concise messages. All right. Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Okay. And you got the Knight of Swords in reverse. I do read reversals. These are not terrible cards. The swords are swords of action. Even as a knight, it's going to be a sword of action. Okay. It's air element, right? So Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, and the Knight of Swords is, I don't want to say petulant. That's not the right word. Like impatient, kind of weak of character. When he's upright like this, it's like strength of character, like knight in shining armor, dun, 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 take over the whole board in the chess game, or like be the hero. When he shows up in reverse, it's the opposite of that. Like, you don't need to be the hero right now. Purposeful rest is your friend, and that might be really hard because we don't really live in a world where purposeful rest is something we think we need to do. Like a lot of times we get sick before we rest. This card is saying impatience is not your friend right now. You just, like, and also you want to be reliable. If you're not being reliable right now, like if your anxiety and your fear, your depression is making it so you don't show up, that choice is going to keep you where you are. Stagnating breeds stagnation. So like, even though it's hard, you want to be reliable right now, especially to yourself. There's no good way to put that. Showing up for yourself is one of the hardest things to do, and you need to. Okay, so you also got the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, and this is, okay, so this is a number 10. So Page of Pentacles, Knight of Swords. Okay, so this is the first number you've gotten. So it is a number 10, okay? And he comes after the Hermit, right? So he's the astrological of Jupiter. He's all about having done the work and now moving into the brilliance of the wheel of the year, the wheel of fortune. You know, usually when he's right side up, opportunity and everything is abundant for you, almost as much as the World card. In this case, these cards are about resistance. This could be some bad luck right now. I mean, coronavirus quarantine, like everybody's probably feeling like they have a lot of bad luck happening. Like, why me? What's that about? This card is all about resistance. It's all about chaos just all around you. My dog is tapping at the screen. I wanted to make sure he didn't need to go out. I'm so sorry. So with the Knight of Swords in reverse and the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, you just want to be careful that everything you're dealing with, the chaos that you're feeling, the overwhelm, just the whole impatience of everything is kind of not dragging you down. Like, recognize that opportunity is in front of you. You really are probably having trouble with this right now, honestly. And it's a well-founded trouble, you know? But that's where you need to go. Can I get, I'd like some guidance, some more guidance besides these two cards. What course of action? Oh, did you see that? No, because you're up there. This flew very far. Okay, Ten of Swords in reverse. Let me just check something. I'm just gonna check. Okay, so Two of Cups on the bottom, not reversed. Nine of Pentacles and Nine of Swords, not reversed. So Two of Cups on the bottom, that's a brilliant, beautiful card. If you read the bottom of the deck, this is like the bones underneath your skin, right? It's like what's going on underneath that you're ignoring, that you're not seeing. Cups are really positive. Two of Cups is harmony, it's proper attraction, it's a balanced relationship. And it doesn't have to be a love relationship. It could just be that this is what's underneath all of the chaos and all of the crazy that is what's going on. Like, seriously, there's good opportunities in front of you. So Ten of Swords in reverse. So Ten of Swords is all about like a little too much, right? This card doesn't show it as well. Let me show you in this other deck, because the Ten of Swords is actually a beautiful card. And I'm going to show you why. I just got to find it. The Ten of Swords in reverse is definitely a loss. So you're definitely feeling loss. You're definitely grieving, or just there's a lot, right? There's a lot of burden, a lot of fighting that's been done, a lot that you've been carrying. Could be that you've been carrying it for someone else, but there's a lot. This card acknowledges that there's definitely a lot of that, but I really want to show you this other card because the imagery it's easier to see on this card. Okay, it doesn't have it on this card. Something that's really important. Okay, so in this one, you'll see the tide is going out, if you can see that. Okay, the water is going away from him. It's pulling away. So he's no longer drowning. He's no longer feeling overburdened. And some would say, well, yeah, no, because he's been stabbed a billion times, which is obviously overdone. Okay, this action is overdone. Too much, just too much coming in. And with the Wheel of Fortune being in reverse, these two cards like this is like the chaos needs to stop. Like in my head, outside of my world, it needs to stop. This is acknowledging that. But something I want to show you, which hopefully you can see. Okay, you can see it. So can you see on this card, this reflective part here? This part? So traditionally in the Ten of Wands, that is the sun coming up. See, it's dark up here, but the sun's coming up through here. The Ten of Wands, this is why the water is receding. When the Ten of Wands is in reverse, it's time to get ready to move forward. It's time to make some decisions, recognize the loss, recognize the pains, recognize the work you've been doing and how hard it is, and feel those feels. Not quite as much as a Three of Swords, but feel it. And then it's like a little too much. Like it's time to move forward. It's time to stand up and let these swords fall away, and it's time to make some new choices. So your path out of this anxiety and this fear is recognizing the opportunities that you don't think you have, paying attention closely to your money, because now is a good time to do that, but also like just really grounding yourself and letting go. this is all about the process of like literally shedding the swords. You stand up and you shake them off like a porcupine, and they all go falling off your back, and you move forward, and you no longer have those swords. You know, you will still have, you'll still have the wounds. You'll still have the scars. You will carry those. Those aren't going to go anywhere, but they don't have to define you. And now is the time, because right in front of you, what you're not seeing is this incredibly balanced situation. Whether it's with yourself, coming into relationship with yourself, being balanced, yin yang, walking the middle path, or if it's finding a relationship or many relationships right in front of you that are really like your equal, your equality, what you need, it's coming. Let me get a clarification. It's a different deck. Okay, I'm just going to put this one to the side. Let me get a clarification on, I really feel like the Wheel of Fortune. I'm hearing the Wheel of Fortune really needs a clarifier. So let's do that. Could I please have a single card? Would be great if I could get some clarity. Some clarity? Sounds like a bad medicine. Some clarity, please. Clarification. Thank you. Oh, and okay. 5 of Swords upright. This card always looks so violent, doesn't it? It's not. The 5 of Swords is collaboration. It's coming together. It's recognizing your people and kind of like, okay, so I was clarifying the Wheel of Fortune, right? And in clarifying the Wheel of Fortune with the wands, always remember that wands are like your unconsciousness, okay? They're insight that you might be missing that you need to know. And this card here, this is a chaos, this is confusion, right? Like we went over that. So remembering that this is Aries, Sagittarius or Leo energy, it's fire element. And with that, you want to remember that the 5 of Wands is collaboration. It's a competition happening, people kind of going against each other, disagreeing pretty heavily, but it doesn't have to be violent. And I just want to clarify, this particular card looks very violent. When it's upright like this, it's really like this is a resistance. This is a strong resistance in your person, and that could be causing you some trouble. The 5 of Wands is a little bit difficult because this fight might be necessary right now. You might be fighting for other people. Excuse me 1 second, not sponsored. But it's not a good kind of disagreement. Like you want to get yourself out of the chaos that it's creating, because it is creating chaos. It's creating confusion and chaos. Could I please have a clarifier on the 10 of Swords? Okay, we're taking this one. 9 of Pentacles. Okay, and you had a 9 of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck on the other, a few minutes ago, on the other deck. I'm really just holding this in front of my face, hoping that it focuses for you, because that seems to work better. So 9 of Pentacles. Pentacles are material wealth. They are kind of just not necessarily just money. Like your material goods don't have to be just money. Anything earthly bound is a good way to think of it. This is success. This is reward. This card is deep appreciation. So whatever is finished over here, whatever is done, it's going to lead to a success. Letting go, dropping these swords, walking away from your anxiety, your fear, your depression, whatever that cycle that's causing that is done. It needs to be let go of. And if it's based in isolation, then there's some corner that has to get turned. Either you're deciding to make the best of your situation, or you're using your creativity, your insight to see the new opportunities. This was your initial energy, okay? And this is your ending energy, which is a success. It's a letting go, right? This is your opportunity. This is your letting go. And this card is straight up victory, straight up success. She's strong. And it's come up twice. So we're going to move away from tarot right now. And we're going to move into some oracle decks. So the first thing I want to do is I want to use a shadow deck. And I really want to get to the heart, the root, the deep part of the matter, the shadow side. Before I do that, let me just check really quick. Okay. 4 of Swords underneath the bottom of the deck. It's time to stop worrying. It is now time. Like, the worry was legit. The worry was supposed to be there. 4 of Swords is, you know, he's got these swords here, and but this tomb is opening, right? So, like, you have to recognize that this looks like a creepy card, doesn't it? But it's actually a real positive. It's just relaxation, rest, spending time in contemplation, doing your meditation work, really letting yourself, you know, that purposeful rest came up before. This is that same, deep at the heart of what you need is rest, proper rest, deep, like, relaxation rest, the kind, not necessarily just sleeping, but just like stopping the world, removing the argument, removing the chaos. Honest to God, when this comes up, so these don't come up very often, but when they do in this kind of situation, I tell people to get off social media for a little while. It doesn't have to be a huge amount of time, but it really can be like that you need to set up healthy boundaries and keep the world at bay. You know what I mean? All right. Now that I have not forgotten to do that. Oh, my spirit guides and my ancestors, those who walk before me and those who walk behind me. Could you give me some guidance for my group number 2 that are feeling this suffering, that are having trouble? What do they not see? What do they need to be aware of? Can you please give me some guidance on that? This is a little heavy. Group 1 was very heavy. You guys are not as heavy. Could just be me. Let's see what we have for you. Okay, what do we get? Sekhmet. Love Sekhmet. Okay, so it's not the camera. She actually has this light coming out of the top of her head and out of her hand, okay? And she is all about empowerment. She comes up when you need to remember your personal power is a thing, that you're not using it. You don't want to use it for negative when she comes up. You don't want to make yourself a martyr. You just want to recognize that you have more power than you're letting on. If you practice work with goddesses at all, she will be one that would be really beneficial to you right now, especially as we go into the full moon on April 7th, because she does well with full moon work. Sekhmet is Egyptian origin. Okay, so obviously if you enjoy Egyptian gods or goddesses, this will speak to you. Really, really, like, speak up for yourself. Don't be contrary just to be contrary when she shows up. Don't be a rebel just like just because that's what you feel like doing. When she comes up, she wants you to be aware that your past experiences make you really strong, and your ability to help people is really strong, but you need to speak kindly. You need to really, like, use your words in the best possible way, but use them. Kind of like, so you really want to, okay, so you want to walk away from disagreements because they're probably minor. You want to walk away from confusion because it's not benefiting you. It's not empowering you. And you really want to spend your time in empowerment. Try not to lose your temper over minor things right now because they aren't worth it. And this is me telling you that if you want to succeed and move forward and you really want to know what's at the heart of the problem, that letting other people's letting other people's minor crap, or like what some people think is major crap. Like if your Facebook feed is full of politics, let it go. Leave it alone. Move it. Find Facebook groups where all they do is talk about beautiful things. If your Instagram is irritating you, get off of it. I'm hearing a lot of social media. Social media arguing. You don't need that. That is not where you are right now. You need to move into victory. And letting that go, paying attention to your personal empowerment is the way to get there. I don't use this deck very often, but I feel like I should. It's this one. So because I'm using this deck, I'm just going to give you a warning that is a little bit dark, but it reads beautifully. I don't have the whole thing memorized, so I will be looking at the book for the keywords because I have most of the cards memorized off of the keywords. I just like to let people know when I'm reading something, because if you were in front of me, you would see me doing it. You know what I mean? Of course, you'd also see all my crystals and candles and stuff. A little bit of incense going on. All right. So can I get... Okay. Okay. So this is eternal... This is the number 9. Okay. And it's like eternal redemption, I want to say. It's been coming up a lot recently. Remembrance of eternity. Okay. Sorry. I just made up that first part. But if you really look at this card, okay, I'm sorry about the reflection from my windows. This card is spiritual connection, forgiveness. If anybody has come up in your thoughts recently, like a loved one, especially if they're deceased or they've passed on, or they live far away, they are probably with you right now. So just recognize that. This card is all about not having regrets. So whatever you are letting go of or need to let go of, this card is all about not having regrets of doing that. Someone is watching over you. This cross here is huge, just like this amount of swords. So like the pain you're feeling is big. And you don't have to not carry it, right? You just have to lessen the weight of it, which you have control over. You have to recognize that you can move forward. That can stay there. You don't need to regret anything that you are doing in your life right now. There's no regrets necessary. The way that you are moving through the world is appropriate. You are lit. Do you see how light she is compared to that? Okay? You have your inner light. You're moving towards the light. Remember, the 10 of Swords is moving towards the sun, is coming up and moving forward. You're moving towards the sunrise. There's light at the end of the tunnel and victory. Okay? Do you see how gold that is in the background? This is complete victory. So that is behind the scenes that you're not seeing. So pay attention to that. Let's get you a chakra card in case you would like to do meditation work. This will give you some guidance in case you're out of balance. So for my group number 2, where should they be looking for their chakra work? What meditation would you have them look into doing? What needs balancing? Group number 2. Okay, and yeah, you keep getting a ton of cards. I'm just gonna go through all of them, and I'm sorry about the dog. This is a huge amount of cards, y'all. All right, this is what came up. 19, forgiveness. So I just want to clarify with you, this card also had forgiveness in it, because no regrets. You need to forgive people, and there's my candle, sorry, one of them. Recognize that forgiveness of yourself and forgiveness of others is key right now. This is heart chakra meditation. So it would be recommended that when you do your heart chakra meditation that you really look at that. I'm just going to tell you that maybe you're super out of balance because you have a lot of different chakras going on right now. You have a number 8, abundance. This is root chakra work. When you do work with your root chakra, you really want to ask Ganesh, remover of obstacles, to assist you. Really interesting. These two together, Sekhmet and Ganesh, are incredibly powerful to work with, to really remove obstacles, make things clear to you, and also bring you empowerment all at the same like cycle. They're unbelievably brilliant to work with. You'll notice the fire and light in both of those cards. So it is recommended that you do that. You got number 24, listening. And this is actually a throat chakra meditation, but one of the key components of good communication. I'm wondering if the dogs need to go out or if someone's just walking by, because if they continue, I have to stop this video. We have a lot of dogs. One of the key components with really good communication is actually being able to listen. And right now, if your world is full of chaos and arguing and nonsense, like with this Knight of Swords reverse, Wheel of Fortune reverse, and the Five of Wands, one of the things you might really be having trouble with is listening to your inner voice, listening to your intuition, your opinions, really connecting with people, hearing what they're actually saying, especially with isolation and distance being a problem, really hearing people. Because if you're texting or you're on Zoom or whatever, it doesn't always come forward the right way, right? So spend some time trying to listen hard. All right, we're still going with these chakra cards. All right, you got number 9, flexibility. Can we just point out, this is a 9, that's a 9, you got a 19 up there, you got the 9 of Pentacles. You actually got this twice because it was under the deck once, behind the 2 of Cups, just to show you. Okay, so it was 2 of Cups and then 9 of Pentacles right there in your read. So excuse me one second. I'm sorry, I hate to drink on camera, but these readings are really long. So look up number 9, see if it resonates with you, see what information you can gather from it, see if numerologically, there's a word, if it works with you, if it makes sense to you. Okay, that's a sacrum. You want to be really working your flexibility, stretching, moving your body, really enter that field. Okay, then you got crown chakra, be above the third eye, as it were, crown chakra. And this is a number 30, and this is I am presence. This card comes up when you need to remember now, when you need to be right now, present. You need to come to the divine with your questions. Let things go that don't pertain to right now. Your meditations need to focus right now and really bring you into your body, bring you into your space, but also recognizing that by doing that, you're coming into a relationship with the divine that is meant to be and is meant to be perfect. And then right following that card, right immediately after, you got a 35, and this is soul healing. This is the soul star chakra. This is above the crown chakra. It's the highest level of the chakras that you can get. It is divine. It is open to the divine. And this card is showing that your inner child wants you to know that your soul needs some assistance. So this anxiety, this fear that you're having, it's real. Recognize it and do the work to heal your soul. Find what your soul needs. Write it out. If you do a meditation that focuses on it, this color light filling you and coming in from the divine and down from and up from below, you know, you have a lot of light cards coming up. Can we just take, you know, these cards have light, especially this one coming from above. So you are in a difficult time right now. There's more fire for you. But the light is available to you. Meditation will assist you with that. That's why you got so many different cards. Hopefully one of those resonates with you. Somebody wants to talk to you today. Let's get some healing cards for you, shall we? Should we get some guidance as to what to do about this feeling that you're having? All right. And that was amazing. Triggers. Number 9. I'm not even lying. Look at, there it is. Boom. Number 9. Triggers. All right. Your triggers need to get bubbled. So when this comes up, you're clearly, it comes up because you're having triggers. This card comes up because you need to kind of look at the way, okay, so one of the major things right now is, you see that moon? So we're moving into a full moon, so it doesn't quite look like that anymore. But you need to recognize that right now, the situations in your life may be pulling up deep wounds for you. That might be why you have so many chakra cards and why you have a soul healing card. Why you need to recognize, why you need to use Ganesh, remover of obstacles, because this is, memory, wounds, triggers that are affecting you on a deep level, and that is honest. When this comes up, make sure that the emotional wounds you're carrying are not feeding your ego. You don't want to be that person. Okay, you need to recognize the emotional wounds, but not make them, like, again, you carry things, but there's not, you can handle this outcome. It doesn't have to be a part of who you are. There is no single situation that you can't overcome when this card comes up. They want you to know that you have opportunity in front of you, that you don't need to have regrets, that letting go is a good idea, and that you are full of power and victory, and you're just not using it right now, which is fine, but they want you to move past that, okay? The source is saying you need to have the will, you need to have the desire, which right now might be really hard. It might be really hard, but you have it. And once you start using it, once you start doing the work, letting go of this pain, because holding on to it really limits your life. It's holding on to that pain is something you might be used to doing. I mean, that's true. Letting go of it is going to help you live your life to the fullest. When this card comes up, okay, so let's talk about these bubbles for a second. These bubbles are representations of someone's memory, someone's triggers, someone's emotional situations, good and bad. And once the bubbles are kind of accepted as part of someone, but not controlling someone, they get popped. And then they're still there, but they're not floating around constantly, causing triggers, causing reactive behaviors. And what this card comes up when you need to know that it's time for you to start living proactively, not reactively. I'm going to pull another healing card. Where's my deck? Here it is. Can I get some more healing information for my group 2? Ooh, you're definitely on the verge of moving forward, though. Like, the pain that you've been having is so real. It's almost palpable. But you're on the verge of moving forward. You get that soul healing. You get this going, really working towards healing. Remember that you have abundance in front of you. That heart chakra work seems really important, too. I love that you keep getting number 9s. That's cracking me up. And we have this 3 cards of healing. Okay. I'm just checking. We got at least one number 9. So 28 is love. This card is a little bit creepy, if you ask me. 18 is say what you mean. Okay. And that's your 1-9. Okay. Right there. 1-9. I'm sorry, 1-8, which equals 9. Oh, I'm tired, y'all. And then you got a number 6, cycles. Okay, so cycles comes up when it's pretty straightforward, right? Like, you're going through a cycle right now, and you're on the verge of it being over, and you need to let the cycle play out. Don't try to control it. Recognize that the wheel spins round this year no matter what, okay? Life is cyclical. It's really interesting to me that you got two. So you got the Wheel of Fortune, but it was in reverse. But this is 2 cycle cards. Recognize the flow. Recognize that whatever cycle of life you're in right now, be in it. Because the next one is right around the corner all the time, right? It's time for you to focus where you think you need to. Like, is it time for you to heal and regenerate and rest yourself? Is it time for you to be with your family, like really be with them? And by family, I don't mean like blood family. It could be friends. That is whatever's your family. Is it time for you to, I don't know, really think about your life purpose or move into whatever energy is calling you? This card comes up when a new cycle is starting, an old cycle is ending, and there's gifts that are ready for you. You just have to be ready for them. Okay, so this one, say what you mean, is pretty straightforward, okay? It's, you know, mind your words. Like, don't hide. You know, go after what you want. Take time to clarify your communication, right? We saw that you have the Knight of Swords in reverse, which is, it's kind of an arrogance, but it's not clear communication. And you did get this listening card and a throat chakra for communication happening. So with this card coming up, really like recognize that honest communication begins with you, okay? Not with somebody else getting it out of you. Being honest in your communication is straight up just your thing, okay? This card also comes up sometimes when a relationship needs revamping, when you and your partner are not communicating properly, you're not being honest with each other, somebody's afraid to say what they mean. With all of this social distancing, you might be scared to step out, but it is time to kindly say what you mean. It's time to, you know that if you're feeling vulnerable right now, you could be swayed into thinking what somebody else thinks is right. But if that's not honest for you, if you, like, you need to really know yourself, really take the time for yourself so you can stand in your own power. Don't be swayed just because you're vulnerable right now, okay? I mean, honestly, this card comes up when it's time to say what you mean, whether other people like it or not, but know what you mean. You know, words matter. Last but not least, you got 28, which is love. And this card, it looks a little creepy, doesn't it? I think it does. I think it looks a little bit creepy, but it's not terribly creepy. I mean, it is a healing card, but this card comes up when you have limiting beliefs about what love is. So love is not about you. I know, it's crazy. It's about other people. Stepping out of your ego, moving past yourself. Like, if you can love somebody even when you're mad, you don't have to like their actions. You can be really mad that somebody did a thing, but if you still love them, then you understand love. I know, it's ridiculous, but it's true. It's this beautiful, empowering thing. Fully opening your heart gives you a different kind of vulnerability than the negative one that'll keep you from saying what you want to say. But if you fully open your heart, if you are okay with being vulnerable with someone, you will be able to be honest. Now is the time to do that. Now is the time to look for something beautiful in every single person that you encounter. Yes, even the annoying ones. This is the time to focus on feeling good about things. Really, like, look for people showing kindness, showing love to each other, showing love to the world. Look for the good in things. Look for the beauty. And this is going to be your key right now to moving out of this oppressive, hard time that you're having right now. Looking for beauty will be a good answer for you right now. Okay, I now have 2 fun decks that I'm just going to do really quick, and then I think we're done with group 2. So the first one is mermaids. I love the mermaids. They're fun. So here we go. Can I get some guidance for my group 2s? Oh, okay. Well, we're going to count it even though it didn't flip out. Time and Tide, Oceanic Spells and Rituals, and this is a number 18, which adds up to a number 9. Just saying. I can't make it up. Look, there it is. Can you see it okay? Is it focusing? I hope it's focusing. Time and Tide. So this card is really interesting to me because it always reminds people that they need to just like take a break. Now is the time to kind of recognize ritual, festivals, traditions, things that are in front of you. We have Easter coming in April and Passover, really big rituals for many religions right about now. Going into May, we just had Ostara and the Holly Festival and the Spring Equinox, which are all big, big festivals. In this deck, the mermaids love their rituals and festivals, right? They remind them of from whence they come. So with this deck, now is a time for you to create a ritual of your own to reconnect with people. This can be very simple, or it could be really intricate. Whatever is going to help you reconnect. YouTube and Google are your friend on this. Now is the time to do that. Ritual, a reconnection, mindfulness that remind you of the sacred are really going to benefit you right now. Okay? When this card comes up, kind of just the most important thing is now is the time. Do something. Your ritual can be walking outside, or it can be intricate magics. It doesn't matter what it is. What matters is that you do it. Reconnecting right now is the answer that the mermaids have for you. It's time to reconnect. Okay. And then I have my Alice in Wonderland deck. And I love this deck. It's a little silly, but it reads fantastic. So we're going to finish up with this one just because I feel like I need to. It's crazy reading for you guys today. All right. Can I get some guidance for my group 2s, please? Okay. 2 cards. And we have 40, keeping up, immense effort, and advance. 40 is a number 4. And we got a 19. Who in the world are you? Getting to know the new you. I just want to show you there's another card with the sun in the back and the person all lit up, because that's who you are these days, even though you don't know it. So with keeping up, you'll notice she's not particularly happy about trying to keep up with the White Rabbit right now. This is not necessary. You do not need to keep up with others right now. If you are keeping up, then you're full on in advanced mode and you're doing fantastic. Okay? This card is a card that shows that you are, it's kind of one or the other, right? Like you're either having trouble keeping up, or you're keeping up fantastically, but it's wearing you down. Okay? Like the lessons that you're going through right now could be happening at a really fast rate, and that's hard for you. And you could feel like right now you're just barely keeping up with all the changes in front of you. This card comes in to recognize that like there's a lot coming at you, and you might even have to work a little bit harder than you are right now, but you're doing a good job. This time period that you're going through that has so many changes and everything, you might not ever have to go through this kind of work again because you're doing so much work now. Whether that's financial work, relationship work, internal work, whatever is happening that you are working through, the lessons and everything that you are getting through on this are going to lead to massive advancement. Just like try to integrate all that power. Try to find power in it. Try to recognize that keeping up with everybody is not necessary, but if you are, the work you're doing right now, you still have a little bit of hard work in front of you, but it's the best kind. It's going to lead you someplace you really want to be. And then, who in the world are you? Last card for today, the number 19. And this card is really straightforward, right? Like, it's just, do you know who you are? Are you paying attention to what you believe? Are you, you got speak your mind, empowerment. You're being asked by Miss Alice right there to rediscover yourself, to take the time to find out who exactly you are and what that means. And you might find yourself in new places with new people, in a totally new situation with new people, digitally, who knows? You got the whole world at your hands with that happening. And really grow into yourself. Defy assumptions about who you are. Become fascinated with who you are, because it's fun and you're an interesting, amazing person that's never going to be repeated again. Even if you believe in reincarnation, you're never going to be repeated again. Your physical presence in this world today matters and makes a difference. So find out who you are. You want to be, you might be comfortable with who you are, but this card comes up with when you're comfortable with who you are, you're actually limiting yourself. Like there's growth that you're missing. So yeah, it's kind of fantastic. So really good all around. I hope that this reading was helpful, and I wish you the best. Have many blessings, group number 2. Thank you very much. Bye. Hi, group number 3. Let me just adjust. There we go. How are you? So we are going to smoke smudge the cards because I just finished my reading with group number 2, and I like to clear the energy out of the cards. I've done the other decks. This is going to be a reading for my group number 3, who are currently having a lot of anxiety, a lot of problems. You know what? I'm going to do this one too, because I don't remember if I did it or not. This is my other tarot deck for clarification. So welcome in. We're going to start with some tarot, go from there. And then I have a bunch of oracle decks to choose from. Not everybody gets the same ones, just because if I feel the need for you to a little bit different card, then I will pull those. Kind of depends on what comes up. Whew. My ancestors, my spirit guides, and my source, I invite you to speak to me through these cards today for my group number 3 of the human collective, who are suffering through anxiety, depression, through this isolation, having trouble. We're looking for guidance. We're looking for the messages that you have for them. I invite you to speak to me through these cards. Guardian angels and my spirit guides especially. No malevolent, malicious, or evil spirits. No malcontents. Thank you very much. Alright, let's see what we got for you, okay? Well, they didn't quite pop out, but we're going to take it. Alright, you're all about the swords today. So initial energy you've got is a 2 of swords and 4 of swords. Now, 2 of swords, feeling like you might need, I hold these in front of my face so my camera can focus. I hope that's okay with you guys. I don't think that I'm important in these other than getting you the messages. So I think the cards are the most important. So I hope that doesn't bother you because I am going to hold these like this for quite a bit. Okay, so you want to recognize that swords are action cards, okay? They are strong air energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius type energy. I'm just going to take some water. I'm sorry. Not sponsored. Must hydrate. But swords are all about, you know, recognizing actions that are necessary, recognizing that good and evil are not as straightforward as we think they are. In the case with these two swords, so Four of Swords is your relaxation, your rest, your purposeful rest. Not just go take a nap because you're bored, but actually like, I am tired, I'm going to sleep now, even though I feel guilty about it. I feel like I should be doing so much work. I slept until 11 and it's 2 o'clock and why am I tired again? This card says purposeful rest is important right now. This is the energy that you need to focus on. It's a contemplation card, meditation, really strong when the Four of Swords comes up, because that's going to move you forward. Okay. Now the Two of Swords is more like decision. It's an indecision. It's a confusion. It's just making sure that you're using your intuition, right? If she was actually going to fight someone, this would be very Star Wars Jedi moment, right? Like, follow your instincts, follow your intuition. If you do use your intuition a lot, like I do, you're going to need more rest right now because the energies currently on this planet are off the charts. Just so much. Like, I walk outside and I'm exhausted. I'm like, ugh. The other day, not that this is you, but this might be you. I couldn't figure it out. I was very calm. Everything's fine. I don't actually have any problems right now. It's hard, but I don't have any problems, you know? But I would walk outside and I would be overcome. And it's just that instinctual, strong energy. You need rest. You need to meditate and pull it in. It's very, like, make sure that anything you need to compromise on, you are compromising on. It needs to be healthy boundaries. Okay? But that's your current energy right now. Let's see what guidance we have for you in dealing with the indecision, in dealing with the stalemate situation you got going on. Oh, thank you. With that Four of Swords, like, those anxieties are real. Okay. Interesting. And they can be overwhelming. So just trust your instincts. If you rest and you take care of yourself, things are going to get a lot better. So let's start there. Okay, so what do we got at the bottom? Okay, let me just check something because we got a couple different reversals. Do I have a lot of reversals going on? No. Do I have a lot of reversals? No. Okay, so they read reversed. All right. First out was Ten of Pentacles in reverse. So this is somebody who's not really paying attention to, like, your money situation is kind of getting turned on its head, which could be causing you a lot of fear, a lot of anxiety, especially if you don't know what's going on with that, especially if you are looking for advice and you can't find it. Sorry about the dogs. This is going to be a card that has kind of an unsatisfactory situation, like it's not fulfilling. Pentacles are material, earthly type energy, right? So this card comes up when you have loneliness, which makes total sense right now, right? This card comes up when you have a huge loss in front of you, and it doesn't have to be material, but it could feel very, like you could feel it real deeply, like everything is based on the loss. This could be a heavy judgment that you're feeling. But you also have the Eight of Swords. So, and it's in reverse. So swords are action cards. When the Eight of Swords is upright, can you see that? Is that showing up? So swords are air element, okay? They're going to be your Gemini, Libra, Aquarius element. Usually people hate the Eight of Swords because it's feeling all tied up. It's very, you know, it's like prickly, it's pokey, it's just being all tied up. I don't know, I can't think of a better way to put it. When this card comes up in reverse, it's actually like acceptance is coming. Discovery, releasing the ropes. The swords are falling away, right? Because they can't stay there. So the Eight of Swords in reverse is actually a fantastic card. What you may need to be doing is working on release, getting past that indecision. You might not know how to work that release. Meditation is your friend in this case. And recognize that some loss may be happening, but it's not the end. It's not the end of everything, because you got the Three of Wands in upright. So the Three of Wands is, you know where you want to go. This is the planning card. This is make a plan. Like if you're you got Ten of Pentacles upside down, make a budget. If you make a budget and you stick to it, like an honest to goodness budget, you're gonna be fine. This card comes up when planning is essential. When you know where you want to go, you're facing the direction you want to go. But what you need is, you need a plan, and you need to sit. You need to release. It's not gonna be easy, okay? Because it is swords. There's a couple other release cards in the decks. Swords are hard to release. And you have a lot of swords. I'm just saying. Out of 6 cards, I'm sorry, 5 cards? 5 cards. 3 of them are swords, okay? But look, when it comes to the plan, I just want to point something out, because bottom of the deck, you've got the Emperor. So the Emperor is the constructor. He's the older one. He's the one you want to, oh, sorry. Didn't mean to do that. He comes right after the Priestess, and he's older. He's Aries energy, stubborn but smart, holds all of the information in his hands, right? He is, so you did actually have this was in reverse on the deck. Okay, so this is rigidity. This is avoidance. So making this plan is, what's keeping you back is avoidance. What's keeping you back is being stubborn. Deliberately choosing to not make a difference. I'm very sorry about the dogs. If he keeps up, I will go and start the video again. You also got, okay, so it was followed by the Queen of Pentacles and followed by the Five of Cups. Now, both of these are a little bit arrogant. This is the pouty card. This is somebody right now only looking at the negative down here and not seeing that good things are happening back here, which, you know, Two of Swords is blindfolded. So just recognize that. But then right after that, Two of Pentacles, balance, beautifulness, fantastic on the horizon. So just recognize that your energy needs to be put into planning. Whatever you're feeling, as I say that comes up, that you need to be planning, do it. Make a good, solid plan. And then stick to it. Like, do it step by step by step by step. And the world will be at your feet. There is some release that is going to be necessary before you can make this plan, because this is how the cards came out. So they do read in this order. So you do have, it's like this. I don't, you do have some release. You're gonna have to make some decisions. This energy right now, this can't stand, which is hard to know. If you want to move forward, you have to move out of that indecisive, kind of resistant energy into letting it go and making a plan. Okay? I actually don't think I need any of these cards clarified. So let's move straight into an oracle. So the situation I want to do first, I like to do, is shadow work to show you what's going on behind the veil. So for my ancestors that can see beyond the veil, those who are before me and those who came before me, my spirit guides and my source that can see beyond the veil into the shadow where I do not walk. Can you please give me some guidance for my group 3? That dog. Okay. Well, that was quick. And you got 2. Okay, these are both fantastic though. They're really beautiful instructional cards, good guidance. Okay, so you got Scotty. Okay, and that's atonement. So now is a really good time for atonement. And you got Hell. Concealment. I think that's how you say that. I think it's Norwegian. She comes up when things are being hidden, when you don't want to hide anything anymore, but also when someone's hiding something from you. So if you're looking for answers, there are people around you that may have them. So I just want to talk about these real quick for a minute. Okay, so this is kind of a cold card. It's kind of like in your face. Can you see that? I think, oh, there you go. Now you can see it. She's very stark, right? Very cold, very, like, her boundaries are set. Her atonement is serious. Can you see that? She's like a super warrior. She's Norse, which is part of why the cold, okay? I know for sure she's Norse. And if I remember correctly, she was one of Odin's wives later on. But when she comes up, you know, it couldn't be more straightforward. Like, someone needs to make amends. It might be you, or someone owes you amends, and it's time to cash them in. Like, if you have an apology you need to make it. Make your amends. But if someone really owes you that, then you need to come out with it and recognize that now is the time to go after that. You know, you need to recognize universal law and effect and the power of 3. So you don't want to go out wishing someone negative atonements, because that's going to come back to bite you. But you do want to, you know, take a stand, a very strong stand. I mean, look at that card. And if you need to apologize, it needs to be a strong apology, and it's time to do it. And if somebody needs to apologize to you, the same thing stands. Now is the time to be like, an apology is necessary. I need my apology. My atonement is now. Whatever situation needs to be redressed, it's now. Situations need to be moving forward. I need to be letting go. I need to be releasing stuff. I'm trying to move forward and get past the things that are bothering me. And, you know, that's what this card is. Just be careful when this card comes up. You don't want to treat anyone badly, right? She's very stark, but that doesn't mean you have to be. Always come at it from a place of love. Like, these are shadow cards. This is at the back. This is something that needs to get handled, but that just because it's dark and stark doesn't mean you need to be, right? Just be careful with that one. Okay, so Hell is, I'm not sure if that's how you say it or not, but she's also quite powerful and really beneficial. She is, can you see that? Okay, let me just move up a little bit. There you go. She is also Norse, I believe. She was kind of like a hoarder type person, kept everything, because she had power over 9 different worlds, okay? And she ended up taking over the underworld, which is why I think it's called hell, but I might be saying it wrong. So she ended up taking over the underworld. And when she comes up, it's time to clean out. It's time to clean out your emotional clutter. It's time to clean out your clutter. Clean your house. Now is the time to do that. Clean your physical self. If you feel like this card calls you to do like a detox, do it. Juice cleanse, now's the time. Your financial clutter, your digital clutter, she comes up when it's time to stop hoarding. I don't know, that's what it means. But it's also freeing, right? Like she comes up when the emptiness inside of you is not going to be handled by material goods or financial goods or other people's emotional goods. Like you need to get to the heart of the matter, and she will help you. She will help you clear out the unnecessary if you work with her. Make sure that you're not holding on to things that you think are security blankets, because they're not really. She will help you see that what you are concealing with all of your clutter, whether it's emotional clutter, psychological, physical, if you feel like now is the time to diet because you have physical clutter blocking you, now is the time. She will tell you that that hole you feel inside of yourself is not going to be filled with any of those things. Okay? So, again, be nice to yourself. These cards are very intense. Not all of this deck is intense, but these two are very intense. So you do want to kind of be gentle, but now, you know, make a plan. Like, handle those things. They're at the back of everything. Okay, so let's get some healing for you. The first thing I want to do is do a chakra read. Okay. Whew. And if you do meditate, this will benefit you, and if you don't, then you can just, maybe it'll give you insight, maybe it won't. We'll do a couple more decks after this, then we're all set. Okay? What chakra would you have my group threes really focus in on? Where do they need to do balance? Okay. Throat chakra, and I said balance too. 23, which is also a number 5, okay? And you got truth. So you need to find the balance in the truth that is coming out of your mouth. You don't want it to be too fiery, and you don't want it to be too cold, okay? This card comes out when you need to do some chakra work. Throat chakra, you need to be asking for the truth to come from you so that you feel empowered to speak the truth, so that you know what your truth is, and so that all the truth that you speak is beneficial. Okay. Healing cards. Let's do this one. Okay. That was way too many cards. Just flew out. Can I get a few less cards for the healing cards, please? I'm just moving myself because I'm stiffening up from sitting for so long. He has got to stop barking. I'm so sorry. Okay, we got number 34, which is also a 7, which is entrapment. And I'm going to take a minute because one of my dogs is making me crazy, and it doesn't sound like my family's going to stop him. Maybe they are. Okay, so entrapment is someone who feels trapped but really isn't. This person, this energy, you have the ability to get out of your situation, to feel better about things, but you're choosing not to. So there's some things that need to be addressed. There's some ropes that are easily untied that are not binding you in. You are not bound. You are not. These swords don't exist. All you have to do is make a choice for them to be gone. And you might have to make this choice repeatedly, okay? But when you realize and you take into yourself that you're not actually trapped, that no one has control over you but you, and you could get up and walk off this situation, everything changes. It's all about the choice. okay? Which is interesting because I think, given your 2 initial cards, I don't think you actually want to make that choice right now. But you should. You should. It's going to move you in a really positive direction. All right. And for this, that just came right out. Number 37, which is a 10, which is a 1, because you add them together. Act as if your partner is here. Whether you have someone in your life or not, act as if they are with you, so you will always consider them. So this is a card that says you need to be considerate of other people. You need to be considerate of yourself. And if you are looking for love, if you are upset that love is not finding you, then your plan is to release the fact that they aren't with you right now and recognize that they're on their way and act as if they are. Go out in the world as if you are owned by the most beautiful person in the world and you are happy about it and you own them and you're bonded and they are there for you and they will show up. They will show up. Be considerate of all people around you right now. This card screams just loving and kindness to all people. It's really important. Can I get another healing card, please? Can I get another healing card, please? Okay, that was a couple cards. Let's see what we got. Okay, so awareness, number 30, which is a 3. Awareness. This card is, this has the, you know, that shell that is the eternal, ammonite, I want to say. Ammonite is the eternal spiral of everything, and it goes back to fossilized critters. But it's like, and look at the rainbow. It's really like everything is perfect. Right? So no matter what is happening in your life right now, recognize that spirituality can help you, whatever that means to you. Recognize that you have the ability to make sense of what is going on. Okay, especially if you use meditation or spirituality to help you. You can find perspective to give your life meaning, to give you purpose. If you are just decide, okay? Right now, this card comes up when someone's in crisis, and having a strong spiritual background can be really helpful for that. It will give you a stronghold to stand on. Make sure that you stay true to what feels right for you, because when you are practicing in true spirituality, you will be following what is right to you. Don't be vulnerable to what other people tell you, okay? Connect to your spiritual self, ask for guidance, and you become aware. You also got number 2, compassion, which is, again, that's one of those, it's pretty straightforward, right? You have a healing challenge in front of you, and compassion for yourself and for others is the answer. It's what's really necessary, okay? Sometimes this card comes up when you need to consider pain or hurt that you may have caused other people. And again, if you do have that, atonement is necessary, okay? But also, you need to have compassion for anyone coming at you that is trying to atone, okay? Having feelings of hurt, of suffering, of just like, you know, the low vibration feelings. Those need to be met with compassion, that forgiveness is going to be your way out. And just like, once you hit that level of compassion and forgiveness, then like a whole nother level of tolerance comes out for you, and you raise your vibration. And then we have a number 18, which is a number 9, ruminate. So this card is really beautiful because it really asks for you to take the time to consider things, which it seems like would be beneficial to you. You need to spend some time. You need to figure out what is going on. This card is really all about, like, check out how the energy around you is affecting you, okay? make sure that you're not immersing yourself in inconsistent energy, because that's problematic. You want it to be good, positive, consistent energy. You want to make sure that you're not using negative thinking. Okay, don't disparage yourself. Negative self-talk is not the way to go right now. And that might be easy right now. You really want to pay attention if you're doing that, because this card is saying that's not going to lead you where you want to go. You could also be feeling really responsible for other people. And this card shows up when you really need to think about that, because it's possible that you're not responsible for it, like at all. All right, so that was pretty heavy. Let's do real quick. I have some Alice cards. We're going to pull an Alice card for you and see what they say. They're kind of silly, but they do great readings. Okay, and then we'll be done for today. So, can I get an Alice guidance card for my group number 3? Yes. Shine bright like a candle. You will make it through this. Number 36. That's a 9. And yes, this is Alice in Wonderland meets Van Gogh. I know, Van Gogh, as my husband would point out to me, because that's how you really say it. But yes. This card says, let your light shine. You are on your way to making it through this. You can make it through this. You are worth it. It's hard, but you can do this. And we're going to end on that note. I thank you for being with me today. Many blessings.